And we are live with another episode of Sci-Fi Power Hour-ish. Um, yeah, we're here. We're here. We're not queer, I don't think.
And for today's entry, we're going to be talking about Thor Ragnarok as well as anything Marvel related, which is
A lot of stuff, because Marvel's been eating everybody's lunch. Hell, Marvel's not only been eating people's lunch, they've been knocking people over the head, taking their stuff.
yeah.
like Debo from Friday. Man, that's my money, punk. It's like, how could you do this? Whatever you say, punk. that's Marvel, at least movie wise. Their TV shows,
they could use some work.
Actually, no, I take that back. Most of the Netflix shows have been good. Iron Fist was kind of shitty, but I mean, I'm just gonna say it right now. That was Scott S. Buck's fault. He's ruined many a TV show.
Yeah.
And
as we've been told.
Yeah, and Inhumans was kind of shitty. And I'm sorry, Agent Carter was not good. I don't know why people that was good. No, you just liked that the main character was a hot lady wearing old timey clothes, but that wasn't too good either. But that's neither here nor there. We're here to talk Ragnarok, and I mean,
I could say
you go first. You go first.
For what I can say is that I know that fans are going to be split between Thor Ragnarok, because there will be those who actually love this, and it's basically due to the comedic aspect of the film compared to the last two Thor movies.
You know, I don't think any fans are going to be angry about that, because let's keep it real. Them trying to take Thor way too seriously in the first two movies is what kind of brought them down, because the whole concept of Thor is ridiculous. And once you embrace the absurdity of it, it becomes much more enjoyable, which is what this third movie did. They're like, this is absurd. This is absurd. Let's roll with it. Let's see how absurd we can get. And that's the film. And it's a joy. And here's the thing. Everyone on set knew this shit was ridiculous and went with it and rolled with it. And that's what made it good. And there were portions where you had some seriousness. Like you have Thor, you have a scene where they're on an elevator and Thor's having a talk with his brother, and he's like, you know, you and I, we're two different people. We have completely different motivations and stuff, but you're my brother and I love you. You know,
that's a confrontation with Odin.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it turns out that this was all a long con, but that Odin and Loki were in on it. Because the whole thing is that, you know, Asgard has been destroyed. Well, okay, if you've read the comics, folks, the cycle of Asgard being destroyed and then being rebuilt has gone on over and over and over again. And every time, everyone was killed, and then it just started all over again. And Loki and Odin saw that the only way to break the cycle was
to send Thor to Midgard, aka Earth.
Well, it was to send Thor to Midgard. So all of this has been to basically save their people. Of course, Loki, being the bastard that he is, I mean, he's gonna enjoy sowing chaos because that's what he does. But I mean, all of this has been to save the Asgardians, because Asgard isn't a place; it's the people that make up the place, and that was the long con going on. That's the comics. I enjoy. See, here's what I like about Marvel versus DC. Like, Marvel follows. I mean, yeah, they fuck up here and there. I mean, Iron Man 3, that bullshit ass Mandarin, but overall. Overall, they follow their comics. So if you're a fan of the comics, which, I mean, considering these are comic book characters, so generally speaking, a lot of people's first introduction are the comics, it works. Excuse me, I'll be right back. Someone's calling me. Carry on, Pinky.
Even though Thor was supposed to break the cycle of Ragnarok, in the spoiler alert, they ended up continuing on the cycle of Ragnarok in the movie in order to stop Hela. And you're back.
Yeah, I turned on my camera and not turned off my thing. But yeah, the whole thing is that they're trying to stop Hela, who's Thor's sister. Thor's sister, I think, because they've messed up
her origin story.
Well, they messed up the origins for Loki too, because technically speaking, Loki is Thor's. Loki is more like Thor. Loki is more Thor's adopted uncle. Like Loki is Thor's is more like his uncle, and Odin's and more like Odin's brother than he is Thor's brother. But whatever. In the film, he's Thor's adopted brother, but in actual Norse mythology, he's not. He's more like the fun uncle who gets you into trouble, and then when your parents find out, like you get the ass whooping. And fun uncle gets away with it. Like that's basically Loki in Norse mythology until Ragnarok comes about, and Loki's like, I'm burning it all to the ground. But generally speaking, that's the But Hela basically. But even then, it turns out like it's all just
it was all planned by Odin himself all along, right?
Well, yeah, it's all because they're trying to break the cycle. They're trying to break the cycle because Asgard keeps on getting destroyed. Everyone winds up dying, and then new people are like being reborn, and it gets old. I mean, and here's the thing: Odin and Loki, because Odin and Loki, like their children in both sides keep on getting killed. As a parent, why would you want to keep on seeing your children be murdered over and over and over again? That would be like hell.
It's the very definition of insanity.
So basically now they're trying to break that cycle. Well, I mean, if you know Norse mythology is dark. Okay? Like Christianity, Hinduism, Buddhism,
as dark as Greek mythology and Egyptian mythology.
But even Greek mythology, Greek tragedy, there are silver linings. Like people who do incredibly evil things in Greek mythology get their comeuppance. They go to hell, or Tartarus. Like truly good people, even if they die tragically, get some type of comeuppance. They get some type of recompense. Norse mythology, sometimes the bad guy wins. And even if you kill them, those motherfuckers get the last laugh. I mean, Norse mythology is very dark. It's very dark, very,
tragic.
It's very tragic. Even their heroes don't exactly. Now, Greek mythology is kind of dark too, but like Norse mythology takes.
Especially how Greek mythology in a nutshell is basically Zeus banging every single woman out in the mortal realm.
No, Zeus was bi. Look, Zeus. Greek mythology boils down to 3 general tropes. The gods see something they want, they go and take it, and it leads to tragedy to the mortal who gets taken. That's story 1. Story 2 is a hero who, even their heroes have tragic endings. A hero who goes on some glorious quest, fucks up at some point during the quest, but then manages to get by through divine intervention by their patron god or goddess. And then towards the end of their life, they're lost and forgotten, and they die tragically. Like Jason from Jason and the Argonauts, Perseus, Heracles. That's right, bitches. His real name is Heracles, not Hercules. Hercules is the Romanized version of Heracles. Damn Romans. His real name is Heracles, which in Greek means glory to Hera. But yeah, and the last one is just your classic trickster story. Although the trickster story is in every single mythology. in existence. Like, we really like tricksters. Humans like trickster stories. We like the idea of a clever being outsmarting the gods and stealing something from them and giving it to humanity. We love those stories. The Greeks have Prometheus.
Yeah.
The various Native Americans tribes have coyote, fox, Brer Rabbit,
and the raven.
The raven in northwestern Native American mythology. The Inuit, I believe, have a seal. Who else? Damn, it's on the tip of my tongue. I forgot. Oh, the Aboriginal Africans, depending on tribe, have a Nanzi, the Spider-Man. And all of these tricksters have a lot of things in common. They're horny as hell. They outfox people. And the only time they lose is when they outsmart themselves. Kind of like Wile E. Coyote. Like, the Roadrunner never actually hurts Wile E. Coyote. He always hurts himself. It's weird. The only time Bugs Bunny has been outsmarted is when he outsmarted himself, which is hilarious. But
and that's when he tries to race against the tortoise, right?
Well, no. The few times I've seen Bugs Bunny get taken down, it's when it's when he was too clever. He outfoxed himself, which is hilarious. Because like, here's the thing: I like Bugs Bunny, but after a while, it's like I really start to feel like Daffy Duck. It's like, you know what? I fucking hate you. I hate you so much. Even though he's basically Brer Rabbit from AKA the swamp hare from Native American mythology. I mean, basically, what I'm saying is that humanity, like, no matter what culture, they love trickster heroes, like super strong. Like every creation, every mythology and folklore has like myths about an ultra strong hero who has some type of weakness that he inevitably gives somebody. Even Judaism with Samson. Greek mythology, Heracles, Middle Eastern mythology, Gilgamesh. They all have these superhuman, brawny heroes. Although Gilgamesh also was combined into being the ultra intelligent, superhuman, clever hero as well. But that's neither here nor there. Basically, yeah, Thor Ragnarok, great movie. Not only was it a great Thor movie, it was a great Hulk movie too.
Oh yes, and I'm still Hulk movie.
Well, they
still has the movie rights.
Well, they owed us a good Hulk movie after that bullshit from Age of Ultron, with Hulk getting taken out by a Hulkbuster, which is bullshit. I'm sorry, that's bullshit. It will forever and a day be bullshit.
But because the Hulkbuster is not supposed to be strong enough to take down the Hulk?
Yeah. Like, no, that's bullshit. No. Total and complete bullshit. And I was angry that they did it. I was like, you know what? Fuck you. I'm done. Like, no. Although I know for storyline-wise, they couldn't have the Hulk just do a backbreaker suplex onto Tony Stark, because Tony Stark is the Batman of the
Avengers.
Of the Avengers,
Marvel
yeah.
universe.
And they couldn't let him just get destroyed, by the Incredible Hulk.
So I'm still, while you're upset about the Hulkbuster beating down Hulk, I'm upset about how they paired up the Hulk with Black Widow, because I thought Betty Ross was supposed to be the Hulk's one true love.
Yeah, but I mean, if they do Betty Ross, they're gonna have to cast someone to be Betty Ross, and like, the Hulk has had many loves. You could say the I forgot her name, on Sakaar, who he had his son with, who died when the planet exploded. You could say she was one of his loves, but really, you're right. Betty Ross is Betty Ross is basically his is the Selena Kyle to his Batman.
Yeah.
Like these are two damaged people who really belong with each other. Although in the comics they did have some happiness because she turned into the She-Hulk and he turned into the red She-Hulk and he turned into the Green Hulk. And I mean, when those two go off, they're gonna go have to find an island to have angry sex on. The island gets destroyed because well, it gives a whole new meaning to the phrase Hulk smash. Hulk smash! God damn! What the hell happened over there? That's just the Incredible Hulk and Red She-Hulk. They got married. They're working out some frustrations.
At least we never got to see Hulk's green crotch on the film.
No,
but we do see it.
I mean, we can surmise a lot of things because when Bruce Banner turns into the Hulk, he gets all big and muscular, and like everything on him gets big and muscular. So we can imagine that. Like here's the thing: the only woman who could really take Hulk, it would be Red She-Hulk. So it totally makes sense that they would totally just yeah. But that's neither here nor there. This was a great film. It's sad that they killed off most of the previous cast. They had to end it quickly. That sucks, but I mean, overall, look. Is this the best Marvel film? In their cinematic universe? No.
Nah.
But I mean, we should learn now that Marvel, even their bad films, are much better than anything coming out of Warner Brothers with their DC films. Yeah, I said it. Even Wonder Woman, which I know some people might get mad at me when I say this, but I don't give a shit. Wonder Woman is not a bad film, but here's the thing. It's not as good as people would tell you. It's just compared to the shit that came out of DC with Man of Steel and Justice League and Suicide Squad. Wonder Woman is perfectly serviceable. It's good, but compared to the shit that came before, it's like a damn Oscar-winning masterpiece. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like if you lived your life, it's kind of like this. If you were 20 years old and you lived 18 of those 20 years in a cage where someone forced you to eat from a bowl and beat the shit out of you, and then the last 2 years someone actually treated you decently, but not really decently. They just didn't leave you in the cage. You had a room and a bed, but they didn't really treat you with kindness or anything. They just treated you normally. Those 2 years would seem like heaven compared to the 18 years you lived in before.
Unless you're that one weird individual who misses getting beaten up.
Well, yeah, but generally speaking, just all things being equal, generally speaking, for most people, those 2 years would seem to be like, oh man, this is great, but they just treated you normally. Yeah, but if you saw before, I mean, that's basically how it feels like to be that's how it feels to watch. People are like, man, Wonder Woman was great. I saw it. It's good. It's not great, but compared to Man of Steel and Batman v Superman and Suicide Squad, it's a fucking masterpiece. It's everything beautiful in the world compared to what came before.
So how is that Matt Damon cameo appearance in Thor Ragnarok?
I wasn't expecting it. To tell you the truth, I wasn't really I'm not really. To tell you the truth, the standout performance for Thor Ragnarok for me was Jeff Goldblum. Jeff Goldblum as the Master was hilarious. He was so hilarious. Because Jeff Goldblum just has this delivery. It's just it's so nonchalant.
He's a very well-respected actor.
It's like, guys, my people, Thor has escaped with my champion. If you guys could please get him, please get on that. Like I would like to see Jeff Goldblum as evil villains more often, but like a totally nonchalant, casually evil villain. It's like, can I see your gun, Dave?
And I was expecting him to appear. And I was expecting him to appear in the after credits, and he did.
Yeah, it's like, can I see your gun, Dave? Thanks. You shot Dave. What? I'm sorry. You know, look, he got in my way. like they should do more. They should bring back the Master just so that they can have Jeff Goldblum play an awesomely casually evil villain. Like that's because so often we get like this evil like this evil I just hate everybody. But he's like the Master's a bad guy, but is he really that bad? You know, it's like he was just an awesomely awesome villain. But
if we wish to see him come out, we could see him in the third Guardians of the Galaxy movie, or if there's gonna be a movie adaptation of all of Contest of Heroes story. I don't know. I forgot what it's called.
Like, here's the thing. Marvel, unlike another certain comic book house, actually uses their comics as their source material. So the sky's the limit. I mean, we could have all types of stuff. If they ever get Silver Surfer back, we could have because here's the thing. Right now, it seems to me that Marvel has three types of cinematic spheres that they're going with right now. You have cosmic stuff, which is Guardians of the Galaxy, and to an extent, Doctor Strange and Thor. Then you have more grounded stuff, which is the Avengers and the solo movies. Like Black Panther's more grounded. Captain America, very grounded. Spider-Man: Homecoming, very grounded. Ant-Man, very grounded. So it's like they basically have like their cosmic, and then they have their big like tentpole film, which is like bring everyone together, but it's still on Earth, which is the Avengers films. And then you have like stuff and then they have their third sphere, which is their street level shit, like the
Netflix TV shows.
Yeah. It's like Luke Cage could probably help out in some of the shit going on. And actually, that'd be fun. Throw Luke Cage in Wakanda. Did you just shoot me? I'm tired of buying new clothes. Bam! But yeah, I mean, and generally speaking, Marvel has been knocking it out the park more often than not. I know some people will be like, how dare you, sir? How dare you say that Marvel's been knocking out of the park? They have.
And those people have been complaining about Marvel movies being the same, even though it's not all of them.
No. I would say that Marvel's actually moved it up. I mean, if any films have been the same, it's all these fucking DC films.
And the X-Men.
Except for Wonder Woman. Like, okay. Man of Steel, what's the climax? They fight, there's a big fight, a city gets destroyed, and there's a big ball of light in the sky. Okay. That's Superman. Okay, understandable. Okay, Batman v Superman. Okay, they fight, an abandoned city gets destroyed, and then there's a big ball of light in the sky. Okay, Suicide Squad. All right, they fight in a city that's been evacuated, or at least taken over by zombies and partially evacuated. They fight, they destroy part of the city, and there's a big ball of light in the sky. It's like, come on, man.
And let's not forget the X-Men movies that isn't Logan and Deadpool.
Yeah, I mean, it's very. Here's what I'll say. Okay, the X-Men movies. Okay, look, I will give the early X-Men movies a grandfather. I'll grandfather them in because superhero films up to that point hadn't been very good.
Yeah.
Like, and it was a relatively new medium, right? Because really,
Right.
you have to think the first superhero blockbuster that actually took the world by storm was, and even though people's like, you Marvel fanboy, you just a Marvel bitch.
It was Blade.
No, my favorite superhero film of all time is a DC property. It's based on the granddaddy of superhero characters, Superman, 1978. That's that's still like my favorite superhero film. It's really good. It's really fucking good. Like Superman 78 mostly still holds up.
Yeah.
Like,
let's not forget this, and let's not forget the sequel and the
sequel is also really good. Yeah, the sequel. Well, I mean, I've watched all three versions of the second movie. I watched the studio cut. I watched the Donner cut. I watched the perfect cut where they take both versions, like fans took both versions and stuff that was never released and they put it together, and it's like 3.5 hours long, but it's really good. Yeah, and guess what? All you people are like, well, Superman killed Zod in Superman 2. No, he didn't. No. In Superman 2, he knocks him into the thing and they take him to jail. So suck it, bitch. I'm tired of people. Well, this is a more realistic Superman. He needs to kill people. Fuck you. But that's neither here nor there. I guess we've talked about Thor Ragnarok a lot. Oh, no. So would you recommend it? Should it be seen? Should it not be seen?
I highly recommend it.
All right. I too also recommend it. We didn't go into spoilers in this cast because really, if you saw the trailer, you pretty much know where this film's gonna go. Like, we really can't spoil anything except for particular montages, but I'm not gonna do that because you have to see it for yourself. Like, you have to see the Thor versus Hulk fight. It's awesome. You have to see Thor versus Fenrir. You have to see
and you have to see how Hela took over Asgard.
Yeah, how she just wrecked their shit. I mean, you have to see it for yourself. You really do. The only thing holding this film back, in my opinion, is that it's PG-13, so they couldn't show blood. And it doesn't reconcile it with the fact that this film has a lot of people getting impaled and stabbed and no blood. I'm like, what the fuck, man? Aside from that,
but there is green blood.
Well, Hulk, yeah, they'll show Hulk's blood and like some of the monsters bleeding, but I mean, look,
but not red blood.
People get stabbed and impaled, and there's like no fucking blood. It's the most ridiculous shit I've ever seen before in my life. But this is a comic book movie, and I get it. Here's your little bonus fact about Thor Ragnarok. Thor Ragnarok is they based this movie on a comic run done by Jack Kirby. Jack Kirby is considered the father of modern comic book drawers, artists, because basically Jack Kirby ushered in the age of lots of colors and action lines and stuff like that. Jack Kirby is the guy who helped draw Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, Silver Surfer, X-Men, Captain America, and then after a while, he left Marvel and went to DC, where he did the New Gods and ushered in Darkseid and all that. Like, Jack Kirby, one of the best comic book artists of all time. And so if you love comic books, you should get on your knees and kiss Jack Kirby's ass because he's awesome. But that's neither here nor there. Let's get into the second topic, which is
what would be the perfect licensed game using Marvel properties?
Yeah, that's right. What would be the perfect licensed game using Marvel properties? And I don't know where to go with this. Where should we?
Because that's already been done to death.
Yeah, let's leave fighting games off. I'll let you go first. Describe your perfect Marvel game using licensed property, using Marvel stuff. Like genre, describe the game, how it would be designed, what would be the general gist of it.
Let's see. the sandbox game has already been done before too, so I'm guessing. I will be suggesting a. Has there ever been a racing game based on using the Marvel license?
No. So would this be like, if you did a racing game, would this be like a legit racing game with like vehicles, or would it be like a kart racing game that's more arcadey?
Well, I was thinking like a space race.
Okay, so kind of like they're using vehicles in space.
Yeah, using the cosmetic Marvel characters such as the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, okay. So like you'd have to throw some Silver Surfer in there just for
yeah,
with his board
exactly,
and his silver underwear. I like when they redesigned him where they got rid of the silver underwear. I'm like, that's ridiculous. Why is this? I mean, look, listen, you're the herald for Galactus, man. Just look, you're naked. Just get with it, man. It's all right. No one's gonna say anything. Shit.
Because apparently a naked anatomy figure is just as sensitive as a naked body figure that shows the genitals.
It was just kind of weird, like, because in the comics, like in the original Silver Surfer appearances, like he's silver, but he's got these silver underwear on. I'm like, it just seems kind of weird. like you could have, like, my point is that they could have made him completely smooth, and you wouldn't have thought anything about it because he's an alien being. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah. So it would be like so would it be more arcadey or would it be more technical? Like, what would be your?
Arcade. I was thinking more arcadey.
All right, that sounds cool.
Where the checkpoints had to increase the time, your timer to reach the next checkpoint, etc. And of course, there has to be a drifting mechanic just in case that you don't go off the road, quote unquote.
All right, that's fair. That sounds like that would be fun.
Yeah.
Except, I mean, thinking about the cosmic characters, so Guardians of the Galaxy. So that's well, I mean, the Guardians of the Galaxy is actually like you have the group from the TV from the movies, but it's actually the Guardians are actually larger than that. There's like more Guardians than just those people. There's Cosmo the dog. At one point there was Howard the Duck. There's Yondu. Yes, Yondu was one of the founding members in the comics. Not the Yondu from the movie, Yondu from the comics. Yeah. So I mean, there's a lot of people. I mean, that's maybe you can only have like 6 Guardians of the Galaxy.
Sure. Yeah.
Just to keep it fair, and then maybe we have Silver Surfer, obviously. Thor's kind of got cosmic. And Beta Ray Bill. Even though Beta Ray Bill is kind of like maybe Beta Ray Bill could be like
and maybe Captain Marvel.
Well, which Captain Marvel? Is it Marvel or is it the new Captain Marvel? Maybe we have both.
Yeah,
just have both, just to.
And maybe one of the more popular members of the Skrulls or the Kree. The Skrull.
Well, I mean, Marvel was a Skrull, was a Kree, so that makes sense for him. Maybe you could have one of the Super Skrulls. Why the hell not? We can add. Maybe you could add the Fantastic Four because they deal with cosmic shit all the time. They could have the Fantastic Four jet.
We could also add in one of the symbiotes, since symbiotes are alien beings.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, the symbiotes are alien, but we've never seen them actually flying in space or anything. Like, we've seen the symbiote itself, like, hitch a ride on something, but we've never seen them actually. The only symbiote, I don't know. Maybe Carnage? I don't know. But I mean, would I feel comfortable with Carnage being in space? That's sick.
I'd probably add Thanos.
Yeah, obviously, yeah, Thanos. We can add Magneto because he had that whole Meteor M thing. We could just have him with like one of his magnetic force fields on a chunk of rock surfing through space. That would be his vehicle. I mean, but it would fit for Magneto. he's boogie boarding in space. I am Magneto. You cannot defeat me, for I am Magneto. Welcome to die. That would be. Let's see, who else? We could add Gladiator from shit, I forgot his name. Gladiator from that weird empire that Moira is from. I don't know who else. Like here's the thing: we need to have a big enough roster that it celebrates Marvel,
the history of Marvel,
but not so big that it's like, okay, this roster is unwieldy and difficult. Because this is not a Lego game where different characters.
Or, yeah, I understand that.
But you know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So I guess it's my turn. Well, I know you kind of casually threw away a sandbox game, but fuck it, we haven't had a good Marvel sandbox game in years, aside from the Lego ones. But like one that like isn't like silly and cartoony. So here's my idea. I'm calling this Marvel Legacy. And the game is an open world action adventure sandbox game. If you've played Spider-Man 2 or Incredible Hulk Ultimate Destruction, this game is for you. There are 12 playable characters, each one representing a different type of play style and mobility, because that's important, how they get around the cities. I'm thinking maybe 4 or 5 cities, areas to do things in. And what character you're playing as determines how people interact with you. So the starting 4 characters you start the game with, you choose one of these 4, and then you start the game as that character, and then you get the other 4 in that starting area, and then you know, as you go to each of these other cities, you get more characters to join you, and you do more quests and stuff like that. But the 4 starting characters would be Spider-Man, Wolverine. I want to say either Storm or Captain Marvel, like Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel, because I want a female character who can fly. You know, just because, you know, you need to have some type of female characters. And obviously the Hulk, because, I mean, come on, man. we need to have the green, and the story for Legacy would be, like, there's this summit in New York City for like all of these superheroes, and like there's like Reed Richards is there, and like all these super geniuses are there, and it turns out it's a trap by some unknown entity, and the Hulk and Banner's there. Obviously, he turns into the Hulk. He grabs the bomb and he jumps as high as he possibly can to get it away from the conference, and explodes, does massive damage. This is a special type of bomb. It doesn't kill the Hulk, but it depowers him and turns him into the Gray Hulk. So it takes him back down to his original form, the original form of the Hulk. And like that would be like, basically it fractures all of these heroes' powers, turning them into their basest form. So like you'll have Spider-Man, but it's like you'll have Peter Parker with his old shitty outfit on. Well, no, the one with the wings and stuff. And you'd have like the weakest form of the Hulk, which is Gray Hulk. Wolverine with his bone claws, that type of stuff.
Yeah. And Captain, what about Storm or Captain Marvel? Their weakest form?
Yeah, basically, like she can fly, but it's like for a certain period of time that she's got to land. So it's like you have to, basically the whole point of the game is that you do missions and side quests, and you do heroic things trying to find this thing called isotope 89 or something like that. And basically, this is the little glowy collectible that you find in the game that basically lets you upgrade your powers and abilities, like your basic powers and abilities. But then you can add further augments to that, and you upgrade that by doing heroic things and getting Marvel points that you can spend to upgrade that ability. So like you can, like, let's say you're playing as the Hulk, you can unlock like classic green Savage Hulk, but none of his abilities are really open to you, like aside from the basic ones. In order to augment them, make them more powerful, you have to spend Marvel points. So that's the story. That's how the game plays. So you have an incentive to collect green glowing things that make awesome noises, because that's basic game design. They love that. People like finding things and being instantly rewarded.
Yeah, like with Super Mario Odyssey as a primary example.
Or almost any game that has glowy things that people collect, people love, like Crackdown, Hulk Ultimate Destruction, Spider-Man 2, Lego, any Lego open world game. People like collecting things. People are suckers for a collectathon. I ain't no chump sucker. But yeah, and villains, I mean, obviously in New York you're gonna have the Kingpin, you're gonna have Dr. Octopus, you're gonna have maybe the Hand pop up, maybe a few Stark villains, whatever.
Yeah.
But
as you progress, the more major villains such as Doctor Doom would show up.
Yeah. I think overarching, you should have other stronger villains pop up. Maybe Dormammu or Satanish pop up occasionally. I think overall it would be a fairly good game. And plus, I mean, this is a game with the Hulk, so obviously I'm gonna want to have destructible environments. That's right. You get to destroy buildings as the Incredible Hulk. Because that is always awesome. Of course, they don't stay permanently destroyed. Like once you leave one city and come back, they're back again. Because you have to have the ability to come back. Because you might need that building to climb as another character. You can't just be destroying everything. But
it would stink if all the damages was permanent.
Yeah, because you need to be able to go places and do things. Not to say there aren't going to be some areas that are permanently destroyed. Like if you go to an enemy hideout and you destroy it, you have to be able. If it's like a major like story mission, like once that gets destroyed, that's gone because it's a story mission. Because basically choices that you make in the city affect the overall thing. So like let's say a storyline in the New York area is that you can help out the Morlocks, which are mutants that they're deformed, so their mutation is very apparent, and so like you can help them out, right? Or right. you can destroy their base. Destroying their base makes it so that like you clear them out of that city, but then they go someplace else and they start harassing you because you harass them. Or you can help them out and they help you out. Like, maybe they give Storm her Morlock outfit. I don't know. Because I want to add her to the game. I know this is going to be a Wright's nightmare because Fox is like, no, you're not going to make any video games with X-Men. Fuck Fox, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah. And well, speaking of Fox, I thought the New Mutants was going to be a new TV show like Legion and New Mutants, like Legion and the Gibson, but it turns out it's going to be another X-Men movie.
Yeah, I mean, I think X-Men needs a break. I really do. Like, I think it needs a break. Like, and I know Fox is like, look, all we have are the X-Men and the Fantastic Four, but Jesus Christ, because I'm sorry, that last X-Men movie was rough. And now they're doing another X-Men movie, but they're not doing cosmic stuff. And I'm like, how the hell are you going to do the Dark Phoenix story and not make it cosmic?
And the New Mutant's going to be more horror themed.
No, I'm done. I'm done. Here's a confession live for everyone. I haven't watched an X-Men movie in a movie theater when it came out since X3. Like, I didn't watch any of the other X-Men films in a movie theater. Like, I waited till they came out on cable or on Netflix. So that should tell you something. Like, I'm not going out of my way to watch this new X-Men film. I did watch Deadpool, but I watched that matinee during the week. I did not watch that when it first came out. So yeah, Fox has been messing up. So I guess we can segue this into Justice League. I heard Justice League is much better now that Joss Whedon came and reshot most of the movie. I don't really know what to say about that, except, I mean, why is anyone surprised?
It's like Joss Whedon has some kind of magic touch.
No, I think Joss Whedon, like, here's the thing, okay? People ask, why were Man of Steel and Justice League so bad? I'll tell you why. Because the people involved with creating it had utter contempt for the subject matter, okay? Like, why would you give Superman to someone who, A, doesn't understand the character, B, doesn't like the character, C, is so adamant on doing something that's not like other people's take on the character that they completely disregard what it's supposed to be about. Like, I mean, you saw Batman v Superman, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. At the end of that film, spoiler alert, Superman dies. Did anyone really give a shit that this Superman died?
No, I didn't. In fact, I expected that to happen because Doomsday was in the movie.
Well, yeah, but I mean, even if Doomsday wasn't in the movie, I don't think anyone was like, "Oh no, this Superman who fucking destroyed a city and some other shit and killed a lot of people. Do I really care that he died? Not really. I mean,
he's expected because I expected him to come back anyway.
But even then, it's like I'd be okay with him not coming back. I don't like this version of Superman. It's not a good version of Superman. Henry Cavill is perhaps the worst Superman I've ever seen. He's terrible at this. And here's the sad thing. Had you had a better script writer for Man of Steel and Batman v Superman, had you had a director who fucking understood what Superman is supposed to be about, probably would have been a better movie, probably would have had a better Superman. You probably would have given a shit about this Superman.
And they're also taking a few elements from the Injustice storyline.
Yeah,
where Superman was also corrupted. And power.
I don't. At this point, I'm just like, fuck DC. not the District of Columbia. I live in this area, but like, fuck the DC comics, the DC movies. They're just not. No. Like here's the thing, okay. And this is just my humble opinion. The reason Superman is a great character and the reason he's considered such a great superhero is because Superman, despite all of his amazing superpowers, is an example. Like he thinks, like, what Superman does is he's only doing what he thinks everyone else should be doing to the best of their ability, right? Like, Superman believes you should be helping other people to the best of your ability, right? Like, everyone thinks Superman, oh man, Superman hates Lex Luthor. Superman doesn't hate Lex Luthor. Superman is ultimately super disappointed in Lex Luthor. He's like, you have this genius level, this superhuman level intelligence. Instead of using it to make the world a better place and to help people, you're being a criminal. I'm disappointed in you. Like you, so disappointing. You know, and in a way, that's even worse than just hating somebody. You know. Like that's what makes Superman such a great character is that he's like Superman isn't gonna fucking kill you. Like okay, if Batman comes gets you, like he's gonna break your nose, you're gonna have a concussion, you're gonna have busted ribs, broken femur, you know, you're fucked. I mean, he won't kill you, but you're gonna be in traction for like 6 months. Like Superman gets you, Superman's like, you know, Superman's like a mother cat picking up a kitten by the scruff of their neck. It's like, what's wrong with you? Don't you have a 3-year-old at home? I know, man, but I'm broke. I need a job. You know what? I'm gonna have to take you to jail, but I'm also gonna send you some pamphlets and get you on the straight and narrow. That's Superman, right? And people like Superman. Superman will go. Superman is equally as happy as saving his kids from a burning building, as stopping a supervillain, as rescuing a kitten out of a tree. And yes, people are going to be like, that's lame. No, it's not. That's part of his character. Okay? That's part of his fucking character. That's why when that Superman dies, it's like, no, that's impossible because he's such a great person. He's so awesome. He's what we should aspire to, trying to be a better person. This Superman, it's like, I don't give a shit about this motherfucker. Fuck him. I'm glad he's dead. I piss on his grave. And now they're trying to reshoot it. Well, you know, he was a symbol of hope. For who? I hope this isn't the same motherfucker we saw in that fucking Man of Steel. Because that dude was a dick. I'm glad he's dead. With that who farted face on all the time. Who farted? I wonder who farted. I farted. Yeah, superhuman. Fuck you. No. And here's the thing: Warner Brothers now they're like, yeah, he conflicted with our vision. Why would you let someone who doesn't understand the property and completely tanks your cinematic universe make your cinema? That makes no goddamn sense.
It's kind of like pointing fingers at someone for your own work.
I mean, look, listen. I'm gonna go look at the House of Mouse. Go look what Disney did to the dudes who were making that Han Solo movie. They were fucking up. They fired their ass and brought in someone who could finish the job. Why would you is someone okay? Look, let's keep it real, okay? The DC superheroes are more popular than the Marvel superheroes right now. Batman and Superman are more popular than anything going on at Marvel except for Spider-Man, okay? Why would you let someone tank two of the most popular superheroes of all time? Like, why would you do that? Like, that makes no sense. Business-wise, that's just fucking stupid.
At least that movie flopped. Through DC's eyes, that is.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, Man of Steel technically flopped because they expected it to make $1 billion and it made like half that, and they had already spent that money too, which is hilarious. They were like, "Yeah, man, we gonna make all this money. It's gonna be great." Nope. like here's how bad Man of Steel flopped. Okay, here's how badly Man of Steel flopped. Man of Steel, okay, made over its lifetime a little over $500,000. Okay, it did not do as well as the original. If you adjust for inflation, Superman the movie didn't make nearly as much money. That movie, if you adjust for inflation, made like $800 million. If you adjust for inflation. Considering its budget and how much it grossed. And then when you adjust for inflation, it's way more than that. Because its budget was like $55 million. That was AAA for the time. And they made 2 movies with that. So really, it was like 35, 40 million. And then it grossed like 355 million in 78. And then you factor in inflation and money, and it's like literally Jesus Christ. Like, look, yeah, Christopher Reeve Superman still kicked your ass, Henry Cavill and Zack Snyder. So suck it, bitch. But yeah, it was not a good film in my opinion. Oh God, no, Jesus, I never want to see that film ever again. And people are like, well, if you watch the extended version, it's better. No, it's not. It's not better.
And then you have people claiming that Batman v Superman will one day be seen as a masterpiece decades later, just like any other good movie that were previously panned by critics when they were released at the time.
I have two things to say to that: fuck and no. I mean, people will show how not to make a movie. Yeah, how not to adapt a movie to a comic to a movie medium. Yeah, because I mean, there's so many tonal inconsistencies. Like even the extended version isn't that good. Like it was just. And here's the thing: now we know why those films weren't that good. Zack Snyder was grieving. I think because here's the thing: he was depressed because his daughter died, and that's not something you get over. Right. And my heart goes out to the man because he was grieving. And I mean, he was like, I thought I could power through it. No, man, look, I've been there. I've had family members die. That's not something you get over in 2 or 3 years. Okay. That's painful. And it's really like, it affects all aspects of your life.
It truly does.
But with that being said, no, that is not a good film. It's not good. It's got tonal inconsistencies, bad characterizations, shitty writing, bad script writing, bad transitions. Oh, fuck. Oh, Jesus. The only good thing about that film is that it ends. That's the good thing. And that and that the sequel is not being made by the same team. That's the only good thing about that film. But aside from that, no. Jesus Christ, no. hell no. This is a good film. Really? You can say that with a fucking straight face, dude? Seriously, brah? For real, brah? That's how it feels. Like
going back to Marvel work, we haven't heard anything much about that new Avengers game that Square Enix was supposed to make.
And you won't either. Look, man. We all at this point we should all just realize that Square Enix is not Square Enix as it is now is not what it used to be even 5-10 years ago. They're not what they used to be. They don't have the
most of their talents moved to other companies such as Monolith Soft.
Well, not just that. They don't have the means to make games like they used to. Like there used to be a time where Square Enix's output with their games has gone down. I mean, if you discount the little mobile fucking games they make, like big budget AA, AAA, single A games, their output has gone down. Like during the SNES era, during the 8-bit era, they put out 3 Final Fantasies and 2 other games for the NES. Right? That's 5 games in 6 years. Okay. In the SNES era, they put out Final Fantasy 4, 5, 6, Live Alive, Romancing Saga 1, 2, and 3. Live Alive 1, 2, 3. Mystic, Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. So that's 9. Secret of Mana 10. Secret of Mana 2 11. What else did they put out? I know they put out some other stuff. Oh, Treasure Hunter G 12. Secret of Evermore 13.
What about the Final Fantasy Tactics games?
Yeah, but those weren't 16-bit games. Those were 5th gen, not 4th gen. So I mean, basically, they put out 13 games in 6 years. Because the SNES had like a six-year life cycle. So in 6 years, they put out 13 games. That's roughly 2 1/3 game a year. Oh, 2 1/3. Yeah, 2 1/3 game a year, roughly. You know how many games they put out this year that aren't remakes, like new games?
Barely one, right?
Barely one. Right? Like Square Enix is not. I mean, like Square Enix looks like Square Enix right now is like a factory with one light on, big ass factory, one light on, one smokestack making shit. It laid off like 90% of the people. They're not in the best of shape. So if we can see them actually making some decent games now, and then the 5th gen, let's see, they did. Vandal Hearts, Final Fantasy Tactics, Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9. That's 6 games. No, 5 games. Einhander, which was that weird shoot 'em up. So that's 7. So their output went down a little bit, but they were going to a new medium and like new stuff, And then in the 6th gen, they did Final Fantasy, Final Fantasy 10, Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, which is fucking shit. Fuck that game. Final Fantasy 12. And that shitty MMO. So that's 4. I mean, and they did Romancing Saga, but that Romancing Saga game was shit. So, but I mean, basically, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I would love to see Square Enix make a AA Marvel RPG, but is it going to happen? Probably not, because Square Enix sucks these days, and it's just the way it is.
I mean, every game Square is making should come with low expectations.
Basically, yeah. Like basically, the only games I'm looking forward to from Square Enix these days is that game coming to the Switch, that Pixel game, pixelated game.
Project Octopath.
Yeah,
Octopath.
Octopath Traveler. I'm looking forward to that game. I might get Lost Sphere, but I'm not paying $49.99 for it. I'm sorry. Fuck that. That's just too much. But yeah.
I guess that's about it. That's about it to discuss.
Yeah.
And we reached about an hour.
I think that's it. Anything else you want to bring up for the Sci-Fi Power Hour? Anything?
Nope. As of right now, no, nothing sci-fi related. Well, except for the part where we could maybe in a future installment of Sci-Fi Power, we could talk about time travel, movies involving time travel.
Sure.
Or any other media using time travel.
Sure. So yeah, this is Mr. Red Fox here. Now I'll let you give your outro first.
And this is Piggy Don from Video Game Facts. Currently, I am debating what to write for my next article, whether it's one of my dream crossovers, a Cuphead article, and an article involving my pet peeve in regards to those particular fan arts involving Princess Peach. That is all I have in mind. And that'll be all.
The hottest version of Peach we've had was Peach in Mario Strikers, but even then she's not hot because the bitch is always getting kidnapped. And look, Look, man, don't nobody need no woman with that many problems. This is Mr. Red.
Continue on.
This is Mr. Red Fox signing off. I might do a BS Busters tomorrow if Dr. Feelgood doesn't have his podcast. If he doesn't, the BS Busters tomorrow will be at 8 if he doesn't have his podcast. Because I don't want to schedule mine before his, and then if he has it, have to, it'll be, if he doesn't have his, it'll be at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I know time has changed, but, time will be changing tomorrow, so, spring forward, fall back.
Not to mention, Duo's podcast is coming up later today.
Yeah, but it's an off-air chat, so it will not be live, folks. It will not be live. The revolution will not be televised, so only people who are part of the members-only club can get to that cast. So if you don't know about it, you're not one of the members. But that's neither here nor there. We will be talking We will be talking BS Busters. We'll be talking all types of video game stuff, primarily scary video games. We were supposed to do this last week, but Mario Odyssey came out, and let's keep it real. Mario is king. He kicks everyone's ass. I had a friend of mine who's a product tester. He got his hands on Sonic Forces early. I saw him playing it. I'm sorry. Jesus Christ. Mario Odyssey shits all over that game. When will Sonic get his Odyssey game? When will he get his open world adventure where he can explore a massive open world? Sonic Forces.
When Sega has better game designers, maybe.
I don't know, but Sonic Forces ain't it. Looks good, but I'm not getting it. So yeah, tentative BS Busters 8 o'clock tomorrow Eastern Standard Time. I know daylight saving time, so all that fun jazz. But look forward to that. Peace. Good night. Enjoy. Hope you guys had a happy Halloween, and go watch Thor Ragnarok if you haven't already. Peace. Good night.
Good night.